You've had a long day. You collapse onto your bed, exhausted, and realize you are going to skip your workout. Again. It's a familiar weight, the assumption that failing to stick to a routine is a character flaw. You tell yourself you're just lazy. In his book, Atomic Habits, author James Clear maps out a framework for behavior change, and the third law of that framework reveals exactly why we fail to stick to our goals. We ignore the concept of friction. Biology dictates that energy is precious. Your brain is wired to conserve it whenever possible. When you have to choose between two options, human nature naturally gravitates toward the one that requires the least amount of work. We often try to overcome this biological hardwiring by relying on motivation. But motivation is temporary. It drains throughout the day. Your physical environment, however, is permanent. Discipline is often a matter of architecture rather than willpower. By reshaping this physical space around you, good decisions become the path of least resistance. This is known as the law of least effort. It is the baseline operating system of your brain, and it determines whether your evening ends in productive work or mindless distraction. Think about the mechanics of starting a study session. You have to clear off your desk, find your textbook, locate your notes, and gather your pens. It requires physical steps. Meanwhile, picking up your smartphone and scrolling requires zero effort. Because it is wildly convenient, the phone wins. To solve this, you have to apply the first half of the friction equation: reduce friction. You want to make the initial steps of a good habit so incredibly easy that you can do them even when you have no energy. If your goal is to exercise in the morning, do not wait until 6 a.m. to find your gear. Set out your workout clothes, your shoes, and your water bottle the night before. You are stripping away the decision fatigue that causes you to hit snooze. An action is only repeated if the energy required to start it is lower than your brain's natural resistance to doing it. You have to remove the bend in the hose and let the water flow. But the friction equation works both ways. To break a bad habit, you invert the rule. Increase friction. You intentionally insert physical obstacles between your initial urge and the action itself. If you want to stop watching mindless television, unplug the TV and take the batteries out of the remote after each use. If you want to stop eating junk food, hide it on the highest shelf in the pantry. Make the bad habit highly inconvenient to access. In the 1970s, Japanese manufacturers overhauled their assembly lines to eliminate every single point of wasted motion. They called it addition by subtraction. By stripping away unnecessary friction in the workspace, their output and revenue naturally climbed. You can apply this exact industrial efficiency to your bedroom or your office. Every object sitting in your room is a cue. If your phone is on your desk, it is a cue for distraction. If your book is on your pillow, it is a cue for reading. You are either designing a space for flow or a space for friction. People who appear to possess infinite self-control often spend the least amount of time in tempting situations. They've built a world where they rarely have to use their willpower at all. You can put the friction equation to work today with a 3-step checklist. Step 1. Identify a good habit you want to build and cut the number of steps required to start it in half. Prep your tools the night before. Step 2. Identify one bad habit you want to break and inject 2 new physical steps required to access it. Log out of the app. Move the junk food to the basement. Step 3. Practice room resetting. When you leave a room, organize it for its next intended purpose. Clean the desk so it's ready for tomorrow's work. You are priming the environment to lock in your future behavior. Because humans will always choose the path of least resistance, you have to design a world where the right choice is the easiest choice. Good habits must have less friction. Bad habits must have more. We want to hear how you are applying this. Drop a comment below and tell us exactly which habit you'll make easy today by reducing its friction. Once you've made a habit easy to start, the next challenge is making sure you actually want to do it, and that requires tapping into the psychology of craving to make your routines completely irresistible. We'll show you exactly how to do that in the next video.